Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Pro Bowler Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders as his guys get set to take on Case Keenum and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. The first carry now for Marshawn Lynch. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Carr gives to Marshawn. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
A look now at the Oakland offense.
Let's highlight a big strength of this team, the offensive line led by Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson. All 3 were Pro Bowlers in 2017, but it didn't translate as well as they wanted on offense. Just 23rd in scoring and a 6-10 record.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A Raiders first down, Carr hooking up with Cook.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. There's one man we certainly have to talk about on this Denver defense from week 1, and that is a familiar name, Von Miller.
How about this for efficient, outstanding production? 6 tackles for the game. Doesn't sound super remarkable, right? But in his 6 tackles, he had 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Remember, he wasn't chasing around you. He wasn't chasing around me. He's chasing around Russell Wilson and corralled him that many times and helped his Denver team win a big season opener.
He could touch me with his pinky and I'd fall over. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Von Miller with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep, Adam Jones. Denver's offense here, and you know, with their running backs, you kind of use that acronym that fantasy owners dread, RBBC, running back by committee. I think that's what's developing in the Mile High City.
Yeah, I think that everyone thought week 1, Royce Freeman would carry the load, the rookie out of Oregon, because he had a big preseason, had passed Devontae Booker for the number of carries that he was going to get for the season, which would be considerable. But how about Philip Lindsay, the rookie out of Colorado? Let me repeat this, though. The undrafted rookie out of Colorado, 71 yards on 15 carries, left Colorado as the Buffs' career leader in all-purpose yards. They thought he'd be a kick return specialist. Turns out he's going to get a full load in the backfield as well.
And you see the numbers for Sanders last week. 10 catches, 135 yards, and a touchdown.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
So the two sides will make the long walk to the other end of the field. 0-0 our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Back near his goal line. Here's Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Here comes the defensive unit for the Broncos. They trot back out there. And as we're going to see right here, they have been laying some pretty electrifying hits in this one.
And these are for real. Okay, as you watch, think about putting yourself in that spot, about being the ball carrier or the receiver.
I don't want to.
And then taking that shot, it is something else. It's not like when we were watching that video clip where they showed you how they make sounds for movies. This is for real.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stump that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Gives to Lynch on the draw. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Jones on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. On 1st down, Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Keenum now to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Take Carradine in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Now Keenum, back to Denver right after this. Out of the backfield, this is Devontae Booker. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
He's going to float this one deep right into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Here we go.
From midfield, here's McCarron. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. There he goes, Amari Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now Mike Nugent for the extra point. Nugent tacking on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Keenum now on first down. Flush to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Keenum. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point from McManus is good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And the Mile High Air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where you see the final score there. Ben Roethlisberger, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Sam Bradford. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were losers in that one to the visiting L.A. Chargers. Phillip Rivers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Keenum going to try and throw on third down. Now he's flushed out left. He may try and run for this. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Now that definitely hurts, because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From midfield, here's Keenum. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Now a play fake here on first down. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's McCarron. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. He can't get him down. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39!
They fake the give. Now McCarron. Incomplete. There was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Handoff comes to Lynch. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. It's been a very hotly contested. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go now.
Working from the gun here, McCarron. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here's Jones. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie up to make the tackle. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Booker on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They'll look to run with Freeman. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman with his first career NFL touchdown, and the Broncos will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
McManus's point after is good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know. Defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
McCarron looks to throw. Incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the game starts. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No, a little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Back to throw, McCarron. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down. To throw is McCarron. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He finds Roberts complete. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now McCarron. Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Again, they'll throw it with A.J. McCarron. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Nugent on now for the extra point. Nugent hits the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Denver, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.